Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you this. This is my very first Shure Lights 120 volt slash 240 volt exit sign. Oh, a huge thanks to Mr. John for letting me have this. He was re-renovating his leased building, and he was going to put up a new one since the battery in this one was shot and it was just like cracking and like just brittle. So like it's kind of required to have these maintained and updated. So he allowed me to have it. So a huge thank you to him for letting me have this exit sign. So here, as you can see, here's the front. It has these little arrows. They can pop out, so you can add in ones that actually are like kind of opaque, so the light lights through, goes through, and then they'll show which way is the exit sign, that way or that way. So very cool. It says Shure Lights right here, L-I-T-E. Very nice. So, if you haven't watched the video on that, go check that out. So, on the side here, as you can see, it has a little hole, like knockout type of thing. I'm guessing for wire or cord. And on the top, it also has that, and it's kind of cracking and brittle. It's super old. And we'll see how old it is in a moment. Very cool. Doesn't have one on this side, though. Kind of strange. And then at the bottom, you see your charge and your test button. Very cool. And then on the very back, you can see 2 scorch marks and like 4 layers of paint. So you could tell very old. It's been up there for some time now. There was like a kind of a greenish color, tan color, and then the white color is new. So let's go ahead and open it. The clips are all busted in the front. And the person who took off this front part to see what he was dealing with, because he hired someone to actually change it out, an electrician, a qualified electrician. He actually took this off and threw it in a box, so it got nice and cracked and damaged. But it still works barely. So we'll go ahead and open it up. And there you can see these are your 2 lamps that stay on 24/7, so that can explain all the cracking and like burnt marks on the plastic. And these are your battery backup lamps, the ones on the edge that are smaller, of course. So if the power goes out, be like, where am I? I can't find the exit. Oh, there's an exit sign there that's lighting up with the battery backup lamps. Let me go there. But yeah, you can kind of tell why these have to be up to code and up to date. And here we have a transformer. Very cool. It does have 240 or 120 input, so it says 277 or 120 input. So I guess this transformer is to step down the voltage, because you are supposed to use like 130 volt. 145, what does it say up here? It says AC lamp, 145 volt, 15 watt. And then for the miniature lamps, it says DC lamps, it says 6 volt. So what you would have here in this empty space is a 6 volt lead acid battery. And it'll be constantly charging. So they die like, they died kind of early since they're constantly charging. It says to replace the battery every 4 years. So, and the battery I took out of there was a Ladonia Lighting, and it said 2011. That's way past its expiration date. So, but as you can see here, the date of the unit is right up here on the sticker. It might be hard to see, but it says April 1999. That is old. That makes it 27 years old. Very cool. So, as you can see, this is where the cord comes in. This is where the electrical box was, around here. So that's why there was already a hole there. So I just used the hole for the cord. And then there's some kind of connections here that go to here. So you can see up here, there's your black, white, and orange wire, you will connect up the orange wire for 277 or the white and black for 120. Very cool. This is very brittle. It was just like cracking as I was taking it down. And I added some zip ties to hold the lamps. And these two lamps were dead when it was missing a lamp and the other one was dead. And I was like, great. But a huge thanks to Mark for getting me this whole box of these General Electric 15 watt clear 45 volt lamps. There was only 3 in here, so you got a couple of these, which are your like lamps that run 24/7, and then in here is all of your 6 volt lamps for the battery backup. They must have replaced their exit signs over at their place. He's a maintenance worker with LEDs, so they guess these are all the extras. Very cool. They were all GE, but I was like, what are these for? But I guess they're all for the exit signs and emergency lights. Yeah, it's the same. But these were working when I got it, so I'll leave those be. This one has a clear insulator and this one has a blue one. Don't know why. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug it in and we'll test it out. So I got this super long cord since I'm mounted above my door. So now I know where the exit is in the commercial building I live in. It's just kidding, it's residential. So let's go ahead and plug it in with the cover off in a 3, 2, 1. Oh! Very cool. I believe the bulbs that I put in here are 130 volts, even though it says to use 145 volts. But, works the same. So, very cool. It is a very bright light. It's not like a night light almost. Night lights are 7 watts. These are 15 watts and 130 volt, so they are quite bright. It even says appliance bulb, so you might use these for like fridges or microwaves or ovens. But you can see with the cover off, lights up the area pretty decently. Of course, it's incandescent, so it has a very good color rendering. So let's just go ahead and put on the exit plate. All the clips mostly broke off, but I'm using the last remaining ones on here. Woohoo! Look at that. Very nice. You can see all the light peeking up at the top, and more so in the back. It's like crumbling, but a little bit of super glue will fix it right up. So you can see the back, and it also has vent holes at the bottom. I guess the transformer does get slightly warm, but they should have added vent holes at the top because that's where the heat comes up. And there's even scorch marks at the top, but like they added it at the bottom. Maybe you hold it like this. But it's supposed to be like this, and makes a nice red background here, if you can see that. Very cool. And since we don't have a 6 volt lead acid battery to spare, I'm just gonna hot wire this and use 9 volts. Also, a cool thing that I realized, these are the battery terminals, low voltage, 6 volt. So this is the minus and this is the plus. If you push this minus against here, it will light up these lamps. I don't know why, but it's probably just bypassing this button. And since there's no battery, there's nothing to really work. It doesn't work. The test button doesn't work since there's no battery. But it just kind of blinks the lamps. It's just kind of like pumping out that little voltage left in the circuit board. It's hard to see it. Super dim. Won't work. But let's just go ahead and unplug this. And we're gonna pretend like there's a power outage. So we got 9 volt battery pack, just to be sure, because usually these will stay on and then they won't dim and go out. They will just go out. So you have to have the right boost of voltage in order to make it work. So we'll go with 9 volts. This is the minus. So connect it up like that. 9 volt battery pack. Now we connect up the plus. And those are the lamps that light up. They're actually not supposed to be this bright at all. I'm using 9 volts instead of 6 volts. But they're not supposed to be that bright. But we're just for the demonstration video, you know. So they're actually way overwhelmed. But you'll be able to still see the exit if there's a power outage at all. Very cool. Those are lamps. Hot. So we'll go ahead and unplug it. Disconnect the battery pack. Oh, see, kind of didn't work anymore. Maybe one day I'll get a lead acid battery, but you have to keep them up to date and stuff. So we'll go ahead and put back the wires. I guess the incandescent lamps really drained that puny battery pack, so it didn't want to turn on anymore. But I'll go ahead and plug it back in. Very cool. For now on, I'm not gonna use incandescent lamps. I'm gonna use these like C7 nightlight lamps that are LED, and they put out like the same amount of light for only like 1.5 watts. And then, but they get way less hotter, so it won't be a fire hazard or anything, or brittle the plastic even more. As you can see, this is back of the exit sign. So go ahead and put the cover on. Very cool. So I really hope you enjoyed this video of my Sure Lights emergency plus exit sign, emergency light exit sign combo. And a huge thanks to Mr. John for giving me this exit sign. And thanks for watching. Woohoo! I'll be so safe when I have to exit. Oh yes. There's the inside. Really bright without the cover. Here's with the exit back on. Nice.